The night seemed ordinary until the sky lit up with a whirlwind of multicolored lights and carousel music echoed across the town. The midnight carnival had arrived. Scooby and the gang were on the road when they noticed the commotion. Curious, they decided to investigate. The spectacle was enchanting, but one detail stood out. The Ferris wheel was spinning on its own, even though no one was in sight. Something wasn't right, and the group quickly realized this place held more mysteries than it appeared. Fred, determined to lead the investigation, parked the mystery machine near the entrance. Daphne pointed toward the main gate, adorned with swaying lanterns and a grand arch that read, "Welcome to the unknown." Velma adjusted her glasses suspiciously, while Scooby and Shaggy were lured by the scent of popcorn. However, the vendor, an elderly man with a weary appearance, muttered something about visitors who never returned. The tension grew, only fueling the gang's curiosity. As they entered the carnival, an eerie feeling enveloped them. Every attraction seemed alive, yet strangely abandoned. Daphne was drawn to a tent full of mirrors, where her reflection began to act independently. Fred called everyone to the park center, where a tall, slender man wearing a top hat and a velvet vest suddenly appeared. Introducing himself as the ringmaster, he invited the group to explore the hidden secrets and wonders. Velma started asking questions about the carnival's origin, but the man deflected with riddles. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy discovered a food stall, but as they approached, the dishes vanished into smoke. Daphne, intrigued, examined the Ferris wheel more closely and noticed figures in the cabins, though no one had been there moments before. The ringmaster watched from afar, his sinister smile hinting at more than he was revealing. The group decided to split up to better understand the place. Velma and Fred examined the carousel, while Daphne headed toward a magic tent. Shaggy and Scooby reluctantly ventured into a mirror maze. Inside, their reflections distorted into grotesque faces that laughed disturbingly. The maze seemed endless until a hidden door opened, leading them to a dark storage room filled with rusty equipment and old clown costumes. Meanwhile, Fred and Velma found scratch marks on the carousel and strange symbols etched into the wood. Velma took photos, recognizing the symbols as ancient and linked to summoning rituals. In the magic tent, Daphne discovered a locked chest, but as she tried to open it, the tent's lights suddenly went out and laughter echoed in the darkness. The ringmaster appeared momentarily, only to vanish again, leaving Daphne trapped alone. Scooby and Shaggy ran back to Fred and Velma, struggling to recount their findings between screams and stutters. Fred decided it was time to confront the ringmaster. The group gathered near the main tent, but when they arrived, they found only a scroll pinned to a chair. Velma read it aloud. "Those who seek the truth must face their own fears." The park's lights began to flicker, and the ride sprang to life. Fred led the group in search of Daphne, guided by the sound of her voice echoing in the distance. They found the portrait room, but Daphne was gone. Scooby began barking at a mirror in the corner, where his reflection didn't mimic his movements. Suddenly, the glass shattered, revealing a hidden passage. Without hesitation, Fred and Velma entered, with Scooby and Shaggy reluctantly following behind. On the other side, they discovered a vast hall filled with gears and old machinery. At its center stood a golden throne, where the ringmaster awaited. "Welcome to the heart of the carnival," he said, rising from his seat. The group froze as the gears began turning, and the sound of sinister laughter filled the air. Scooby tried to retreat, but the floor began to crumble. Velma found a control panel near the gears and started pressing buttons. The ringmaster tried to stop her, but Fred confronted him. As they struggled, Velma managed to cut some of the power, plunging the hall into darkness. Daphne, trapped in an adjacent room, used the opportunity to escape and rejoin the group, bringing the ringmaster's journal, which revealed his connection to the supernatural. With the clues pieced together, Velma explained that the carnival was a trap designed to capture souls and fuel the ringmaster's dark magic. Fred devised a plan to trap the man and destroy the machinery. Daphne and Velma distracted the animatronics, while Shaggy and Scooby caused chaos with balloons and tools they found. The tension rose as the ringmaster summoned dark forces to regain control. Fred managed to trap the ringmaster under an improvised net, while Velma activated a mechanism that caused the gears to explode. The carnival began to collapse, with smoke and debris blocking the exits. Panicked, Shaggy and Scooby led the way out, followed closely by the others. The ringmaster was left behind, screaming as flames consumed his creation. Once outside, the group looked back to see the carnival vanish as if it had never been there. Velma held onto the journal, but its pages were now blank, as though the magic had been sealed. Daphne, still shaken, wondered aloud if the carnival might return. Fred confidently assured her they'd be ready to solve the mystery again, no matter what. As they drove away, the gang reflected on the events, unaware that a light shimmered in the distant forest, accompanied by the sound of laughter. The Midnight Carnival never truly disappeared. It only moved to a new location. The mystery machine sped off, but the enigma of the cursed park lingered in the air like a persistent shadow. When Elon Ralston, an eccentric tech billionaire, purchased a Gothic mansion on the edge of a remote forest, he had no idea of the rumors that would follow. Strange tales of whispers in the night, disappearing objects, and walls that seemed to shift, fueled tabloid headlines. Determined to silence the chatter and prove that science triumphs over superstition, Ralston enlisted none other than Mystery Inc. to debunk the supposed mystery. As the group arrived at the sprawling estate under a clouded sky, an unsettling feeling crept over them. The gates creaked, and the mansion seemed to watch silently as its new visitors approached. Inside the mansion, every detail seemed meticulously designed to intimidate. Ancient tapestries hung from the walls, and the sound of their footsteps echoed through the vast entry hall. Fred led the group while Daphne documented everything with her camera. Velma began examining the surroundings, noting peculiar details in the carvings on the walls. Shaggy and Scooby, already uneasy, stuck close to the kitchen, hoping to find something to eat. Before they could settle, a barely audible whisper drifted through the corridor, followed by a faint scratching sound along the walls. Intrigued by the symbols on the walls, Velma realized they were ancient cryptographic formulas. As she analyzed the inscriptions, a door that had been locked moments earlier creaked open slowly. The atmosphere grew heavier, and the group felt as though the mansion itself wanted them gone. Paragraph 4. Their exploration continued to the second floor, where the hallways seemed endless. Daphne and Fred discovered an old laboratory filled with technological devices that appeared ahead of their time, while Velma deciphered a clue that pointed toward the basement. Shaggy and Scooby, reluctantly wandering, stumbled upon a dining room with tables set as if awaiting guests. When one of the chairs moved on its own, the duo screamed and bolted, knocking over plates and silverware as laughter echoed around them. In the basement, Velma uncovered a hidden panel that resembled an advanced control system. She noticed that the whispers were being amplified through concealed speakers, partially explaining the eerie phenomena. However, the panel also controlled something more, a network of underground tunnels, seemingly designed as escape routes or secret passages. When Fred attempted to access the tunnels, a nearby wall closed abruptly, as if alive, trapping Scooby and Shaggy in a dark room. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy, still trapped, encountered gadgets activating on their own, as though remotely controlled. Fred finally pried open the passage, and the group reunited in the main tunnel. However, a shadowy figure followed closely behind, emitting whispers from all directions. Staying calm, Velma deduced that the hologram was being controlled by a hidden device in the tunnel ceiling. As she worked to deactivate it, the shadow seemed to grow more tangible, almost as if it were coming to life. After disabling the hologram, the group discovered a central room beneath the mansion. A massive machine emitted blue and green lights, and Velma identified it as an advanced AI system monitoring the entire estate. Daphne found an audio recording of the mansion's original owner explaining that the estate was built to safeguard his technological secrets. However, something had gone wrong, and the system had begun operating autonomously. Realizing their presence, the AI began manipulating the walls, separating the group once again. Scooby and Shaggy were pushed into a room where a holographic projection of the mansion's original owner tried to interact with them. Meanwhile, Fred and Daphne attempted to access the main control panel, and Velma analyzed how to deactivate the system. Time was running out as the AI activated devices across the mansion in self-defense. Fred found an old manual hidden in a drawer that contained a code to reset the system. As he read through it, the eye projected frightening images of ghosts to distract them. Velma worked quickly to input the code, while Daphne captured footage of the anomalies as proof that the hauntings were nothing more than advanced technology. Meanwhile, Scooby and Shaggy accidentally pressed a button that revealed a hidden safe. Inside the safe, the group found the mansion's original blueprints and a journal detailing the system's design to protect revolutionary technology. The journal also revealed that Elon Ralston wasn't the only one interested in the mansion. Others had sought its secrets for less noble purposes. Fred and Velma concluded that someone was deliberately manipulating the system to scare Ralston into selling the property. Once the system was reset, the mansion fell silent. The walls returned to normal, and the projections vanished. However, Daphne noticed some devices still active, hinting at an independent system. Fred suggested further investigation, and Velma found fresh tracks on the floor leading to the library. There, they discovered a warm remote control, as if it had been used moments before. As they left the mansion, Fred noticed something glowing at the top of the tower. Using binoculars, Daphne spotted a figure fleeing with a device similar to the remote they found in the library. Velma concluded that someone had been trying to steal the mansion's secrets, and the group vowed to investigate further. Scooby and Shaggy, still shaken, insisted they wanted nothing more to do with anything whispery. On the road, the group discussed their discoveries, now certain the mystery was far from over. Fred studied the documents while Daphne reviewed her recordings. Velma, holding an amulet found in the mansion, speculated about who might be behind the events. Scooby and Shaggy, finally relaxed, shared a massive hamburger. In the distance, the mansion stood illuminated by the moonlight, as if silently watching them leave.